What is up? Welcome to another edition of SacTown Movie Buffs. Once again, I'm Kier, and this is Jason, who we haven't seen in quite some time. He's back in the fold.
Busy, what can I say?
Yeah, it's been a busy time. Like I said, we
you were seeing stuff before I could see it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so it was just a little weird, funky time, and kind of wanted to get the reviews out on some of that stuff. But we finally saw a movie that we've both have seen recently and haven't reviewed yet. So I figured now
it was already out of theaters.
yeah. Actually, I rented it. I tried to see this film, and the film we're talking about is Ambulance. I tried to see this film in theaters, and I went to go to look at the times, and it wasn't playing past like 12 p.m. anywhere. And I'm like, well, how am I supposed to see this? I got to work during the day, so I wasn't able to like see it anywhere. So, and then I checked and I was like, oh, it's streaming already. I was like, okay, I'll just rent it then. So, that's ended up how I ended up seeing it. I just streamed it from home. So,
yeah.
But without further ado, I say we get right into it. So, once again, Ambulance, and I believe you're actually going to take this one away, right, Jason?
Sure. I'll take it away. So Ambulance is the new film by Michael Bay, new action film by Michael Bay, and it stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. I'm going to call them Donnie Darko and Candyman Jr. So basically, Candyman Jr. is the lead, and he is trying to get some money to pay for his wife's illness, if I remember right.
Yeah,
it's been a couple of weeks. His wife is sick,
wife.
needs medical treatment that he can't get the veteran benefits for. So in desperation, he turns to Donnie Darko, who is kind of they've been friends since they were little kids. Like they grew up best friends, but they went different ways. Isn't
it kind of like a step brother or something too, or something?
Yeah, I think they're actually brothers. Yeah. And so, but they went different ways. Jake Gyllenhaal is, kind of a wheeler dealer, criminal type. You know what I mean? And like Yahya Abdul-Mateen II is, by the book veteran trying to do things the right way. Well, he's pushed to his breaking point, so he has to go to his brother, who he hasn't spoken to in a long time, and ask for his help because he's, rolling in cash from all of his illegal dealings. So basically they strike up a deal that if he helps him with a heist they've got going on that day, it is a one-day movie, one crazy day movie, then he'll have more than enough money to millions and millions that he'll have. So he takes him up on it, and everything goes perfectly well, and it's a happy ending. That's it.
like all bank robbing movies are.
Yeah. So of course things go terribly wrong, and it results in kind of a movie long chase. It's really like the movie is like almost 90% chase scene, I would say, which I didn't have a problem with, except for one thing, and I'll go into that a little bit later. But that's really the nuts and bolts of it. They hijack an ambulance. And the female lead, played by Isa Gonzalez, I think I'm pronouncing her name right, is an EMT, I think, or a paramedic or something, who's in the car with them. Meanwhile, they're also trying to keep a police officer that was accidentally shot alive the whole time as well. So there's a lot going on. But it's more or less a chase scene that we know is going to end in some kind of shootout of some kind. But the bottom line is I liked it. I had a good time. Like, for me, it was kind of like, and I never, ever would have thought I would say this 20 years ago, but like I think we need more Michael Bay out there. Honestly, I didn't realize how much I missed Michael Bay. I mean, it was like going back in time in a good way. It was kind of like they don't make movies like that anymore. Like it's almost impossible to find any action adventure movies that are not involving some kind of superhero or some kind of fantasy elements. Yeah. Like this movie made me realize how rare it is to just have like a cops and robbers or a bank robbery or just like a not realistic, but real life sort of action movie. Like you don't get them anymore. Like I didn't realize that they don't even make them anymore.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of like Speed, like in the '90s, or
Yeah,
or like Money Train, or the other
Bad
train one.
Boys,
Yeah,
or
Bad Boy was
yeah,
really like high octave, high intense, fast, fast films and things like that. Not like Fast and Furious, especially not today's Fast and Furious, but like
yeah.
those types of films. You know what I mean? So, Fast and Furious, they're way too out of the stratosphere.
Yeah,
They're pretty much super.
they want to be a superhero movie,
Yeah,
but
they're pretty much a
yeah,
superhero
yeah,
movie. Yeah,
yeah,
in a nutshell. Yeah.
yeah. But it was like kind of going back in time to those movies, like when Con Air, you
Hmm.
know, Bad
Yeah.
Boys, The Rock,
Yeah.
like yeah, it's like Speed.
Yeah.
In fact, I would call this movie, it's basically Speed meets Dog Day Afternoon in a lot of ways.
In a nutshell. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, I didn't realize how much I missed a good Michael Bay movie. And I don't like them all.
I
I
know.
don't like them
I
all,
know.
but like,
There was a time in the not so recent memory where you kind of knocked Michael Bay films. You know what I mean?
oh
Like
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because I mean, he's made some bad ones. Trust me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I love the original Bad Boys. I love The Rock. I liked Pain and Gain a lot, and this one really. But it just made me realize they don't make movies like this anymore, with like kind of those big emotions and like
Mm.
the camp things that he does with the camera, and like the I don't know, it's just very Michael Bay, and that felt
Yeah.
like good actually.
Yeah.
And the acting is really good. The action is really good.
Hmm.
It's got some fairly brutal action in a lot of the
Oh yeah,
scenes.
for sure. So, yeah,
Um,
the high scene itself has got some really really brutal scenes as well. So yeah.
yeah, it's definitely way R rated. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Basically, my only real gripe with it is that it's so long. Like everything these days, it's so long, and it didn't really need to be 2 hours and 20 minutes. I think it could have been
Yeah.
just as good at about an hour and 45,
Mhm.
and I wouldn't have felt so tired afterwards. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's going at 100 miles an hour the whole time.
Right.
Like it's just
Yeah, because I
loud.
mean they're literally just driving like this ambulance doesn't stop and it just goes and goes and goes. And yeah, I do agree that the length was a little longer than it needed to be in my opinion for sure. So
Yeah, yeah, and the tone is kind of all over the place too. It's like real serious 1 minute, and then like the next minute they're like singing along to a Christopher Cross song, which I didn't mind because I like that song. But I mean, it's just kind of all over the place, and too long. But otherwise, I really enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Like I said, it was kind of nostalgic for those late '90s, early 2000s action movies. The acting's good, the action is good. And it worked for me. It wasn't like the greatest thing ever, but it worked for me. And of course, because it has no superheroes, and because it's a original property, not a sequel or a continuation or a prequel or a reboot or anything like that, it tanked, of course. And
yeah.
that just drives me crazy. It drives me crazy that anything original, of course it's not original in the sense that there are movies like this, but it's not like an existing property. That's the only thing that can make any money these days, if it's part of an existing property, and especially if it's got like a supernatural fantasy element. Then people will line up for it, no matter what. But if it's like an untested original story with no fantasy elements, it's just going to go down the tubes even faster than I thought it would. Like it was like
Yeah.
2 weeks after it came out, and it was like, oh man,
Yeah.
it's only playing at like 2 theaters.
Yeah.
I better get there fast.
Yeah,
But
it's just a sign of the times, man. It's
yeah,
getting and it's getting worse because like the Doctor Strange, just came out, the new one, part 2, and it literally pushed out everything else that was playing. I mean, it's literally took over like all of the screens at like all of the theaters. And it's just like it shouldn't be that way, I mean, it shouldn't be that way. It's like it's like, yeah, we get it. It's going to be a big hit, but there's also part of me that's like, okay, well, you're not even given an opportunity for movies that don't have Marvel elements, or Disney even, I should say. I don't even want to just relegate it to Marvel. I think it's just Disney in general. If it's not basically produced by Disney in some capacity, it bombs, and it shouldn't be that way, and I know it's getting harder and harder to get people to even come out to the theaters, and I think that's part of it. And I think the other part of it is, movies like this, now you only have to wait 2-3 weeks and you can watch it at home. that's also going to be part of it as well, unfortunately now. Because because you can look and see, oh, that movie only made 7 million at the box office. Oh, I'll be able to stream that in a week or and a half. You know what I mean? Like, so now you're less inclined to even go to the theater because you know that it's going to be streaming in a couple of weeks. So I don't know. It does bug me for sure, though.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like, unless it's like, like you said, a sequel or, some sort of superhero element to it, or unless it's playing at like an art house theater, like here locally, we have the Tower, it's got to be playing at something like that in order for it to even get a fair run, because otherwise no one's going to see it. But, you look at the Oscars last year and all the films that, weren't pretty much Dune, you know what I mean? All the best pictures. I mean, pretty much almost all of them nobody saw, you know what I mean? They pretty much, for the most part, they all bombed, even the best picture winner, Coda, it wasn't a big hit, or anything of that nature. Most people I talked to hadn't even seen it. You hadn't even seen it.
I still haven't.
So,
I want to. I'm not like avoiding.
No, and I know you will, you know what I mean? And it's not like you were like anti, sign language films or anything like that. It's just, but that's just the sign of the times I feel like we're living in, where it's just like, it's hard for a film to get a fair shake now. It's really tough.
Yeah. Anything original,
anything original.
Part of an existing property. So
for sure.
It's a bummer. I never thought I'd say like we need more Michael Bay in the movie theaters.
It is a weird thing to say, but
I'm
inclined to agree with you. I just need other options. Other choices. Of films.
Something different.
Give me something different, because I just get tired of every week. It's okay. Here comes another superhero movie. Oh, it was the Batman. Next week it's this. Now it's Doctor Strange. Next week it's going to be some other superhero movie. And it just gets, and then when it's not superhero movies, then it's a Disney animated feature. You know what I mean? That's taking up all the box office. So it's just so, I'm just tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Nobody else is, apparently.
No. I mean, as long as people keep coming and people keep seeing. Well, the problem is we're complaining about it, but we both are going to go see those films. You've already seen Doctor Strange. I'll probably go see it, in a couple of days. So we're part of the problem. We're definitely not part of the solution. But I do try to go see these other type movies as well.
I spread the wealth.
Yeah. I do try to go see these other films, but I'm there. It's half empty audiences half the time. And then, it just pretty much tanks, and then a lot of times they're only playing it on one screen, even opening weekend, because, oh no, we still have a big run with whatever else was super huge last week, which is still going to take up more theaters. So it's a tough situation for sure.
Yep.
Cool. Well, my take on it is I felt about the same as you did. I definitely enjoyed it. I did feel it was a little bit too long. I agree with you on that. I thought the action was good. I thought it was really suspenseful. It's definitely one of those films, like I said, it reminds me of like one of those 1990, 1995 type films, that came out around that time, around that era, where you had those fast-paced, chase, cops and robbers chasing and that kind of stuff. So, I love films like that. Those are my films, and I'm probably even more of a Michael Bay fan than you are. So I do like a lot of the films. I liked all three of the Bad Boys personally, but
I like the first one and the last one, but how I feel about the middle one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I liked all three of them, and I've liked some of his other films as well. I haven't loved all of his stuff. I know he did a lot of those Transformer films, and I wasn't a big fan of those, or at least one of them. I wasn't a fan of those Transformer films too much. But
no, and I'm not an Armageddon or Pearl Harbor fan either.
No, I didn't care for those either. But I have liked enough of his films to say that if he made another film like this, I would definitely be there. Uh-huh. And like I said, this one, I think if they could have trimmed it at least about 20, 25 minutes, it would have been an even better film. It is a little long. And, I mean, it didn't end quite how I thought it was going to end. But, my other slight gripe with a Michael Bay film is I always feel like the stakes sometimes for the major stars are never as, I kind of almost feel like I know how those films are going to end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my
I knew how this film was going to end when I saw the trailer.
Yeah,
I knew it, but I didn't mind it that much.
Yeah, I mean, so you kind of know what's going to happen. That you know who's going to survive and who's going to find a way to get out of it, or who's going to, you know what I mean? I just know that's how Michael Bay films kind of go. You know what I mean? So he's not going to, he's not going to do anything that's going to like go, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. You know what I mean? Like super surprise you or anything. So you know what you're getting, which is fair. So.
Yeah. Same way with the Marvel movie.
Oh well, yeah.
No big surprises in those usually, and except who's going to cameo in this one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't care.
Just a side anecdote. I saw this. This. I know you hate memes, but I saw this funny meme. It said something like all the people that sit around in the theaters for 20 minutes after the credits. Just for some guy to pop up and goes, "Hi, I'm Skippy McFlippy," and then it fades to black. That's pretty much how those films go. It's like some guy you never heard of, you know what I mean? Some new villain. I'm Skippy McFlippy, and then his face to black. It's like that's exactly how all those Marvel films are just like that. Every time I get suckered in every time, or because a lot of times I'll watch them with my son, and we'll watch them, and then he's like, oh, there's gonna be an credit, and we sit around, we wait the 20 minutes, and it's like some quick 30-second thing, and I'm like, I don't even know who that person was. I'm like, great, that was. I'm glad I said an extra 20 minutes to see that.
Yeah.
But
it's all formula.
Yeah.
But then again, so is Ambulance.
Yeah. Then again, you're right.
Yeah.
But I still would rather see this than the next Marvel movie, just because I'm like superhero fatigued at this point. I think I think that's just part of the problem. I'm just fatigued, and it's just
I've been that way since about 2015.
Yeah, I mean, I thought like Endgame was gonna be the end game of like all these Marvel films. They're like, nope, we're just bringing out a whole new crop of Marvel people. Don't
that was just the first wave.
Yeah, that was just the first wave. Now we're bringing all these other characters that, at least the first wave, I knew of all those characters. This one, I don't even know who these people are half the time. I'm like, okay, who is that? It's like, oh, he's some new guy, I'm like, okay, great. He looks just like the other guy, so. But, it is what it is, so.
Yeah, it's got to end someday. That's all I keep thinking. It's got to end someday.
Yeah, I think everybody's going to get a little... I think over time everyone's going to get a little tired of them, or the box offices aren't going to be as kind to some of these films, and maybe they start going back the other way and doing some other projects. That's the hope, anyways. But who knows? So, but I digress. Anything else you want to add about Ambulance?
No.
Sorry about our little Disney rant here. Okay. Well, what's the overall grade and face you would give this one?
I give it 3.5 out of 5. Solid B. So, I was a happy camper watching it, because it was like I said, going back to the 90s, early 2000s, which I didn't think I missed those action movies, but I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it quite a bit. I went just a little bit lower I gave it a 3 out of 5. Like I said, well, probably just because of the length, I guess, but it is one that I will rewatch again. I wouldn't buy it probably, but I would rewatch it again if it was like on TV or something like that. So I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5. So it's just a big smile. No teeth in this case. But I did enjoy it. I definitely think it's it was a nice break of monotony from a lot of the other films that I've been watching recently, for sure. So I'll give it that.
Yep.
Oh, cool. Yep. Well, let us know down in the comments. Have you seen the Ambulance? Did you like it? Did you not like it? As always, if you like the channel, we ask that you like, subscribe, make sure you hit that bell notification, and we'll be back again with another show for you guys again real soon. We thank you for watching and hope you have a great day.